Okay, it's 3:39. That would be 33333. That's a lot of threes. So, anyways, I'm just starting and I have no idea. I saw something. I was just irritated. But I'm irritable this morning. Stella just following me in my room so I could get dressed. I was like, what the hell are you doing? There's not that much room in this room for us both to be in here. And I'm trying to get dressed. And I don't know why sometimes she has to just come like right in there. Like, where do you think I'm going? It's like sometimes like if I'm in the bathroom too long, she's gotta come in there. Like, what do you think I've snuck out the window? Where do you think I've gone to? And she can understand so much shit. Like, it's fucking mental. Like, I know people who would hear me talking to her would think like, this chick is mental. She talks to this dog like it's a living person or something. But I'm not kidding you. The shit that she has shown me, that she understands exactly what I'm saying, it's mental. Like, I think, well, fuck, I talk to everything through telepathy. I always have. Like, I fucking walk around, I'm talking to animals, I'm talking to everything all the time in my mind because it is something that I was taught when I was little. Like, or when I was 3. I know I always say that when I was 3, but that's when I can remember. It's so clear. And I can remember it so well, and it was just always ever since then. Even though they always show me every fucking time that I say that, they always show me back to when I was standing in my playpen in that bottle of pills. So I'm sure that they were talking to me then. But my I was going to say emotional maturity, but that takes a long time to get your emotional maturity. That's what we're working on. It's funny how that word started getting thrown around and people were like, well, I'm emotionally mature. It's like, none of you are. None of you. Everybody's emotionally immature. Everybody is childish. It's time to grow up. But when people are talking to you in your head, ever since you're little, and you're talking back to them and they're telling you things, it just was natural. Like, I'm always talking to people in my head. I talk to people through telepathy all the time. I don't know that everybody can hear me, but I do it all the time. And I think it isn't just like you hear something. I think you pick up on something. Like, you feel someone focused on you. You feel how they feel or something. Like, it's going to be a lot different when I have somebody who's there on the other side practicing it with me. Because now more people are getting more interested in it. So, but, okay. That wasn't what I was going to talk about. What irritated me, well, I saw something yesterday that was super cool. Because yesterday I even thought about going live. I had done my thing so early, and I was up doing stuff, and then I laid down on the couch, and I went back to sleep, and I don't even know how long I went to sleep. My day is so fucking weird, I'm telling you. Even when I got up, it was like a whole nother day, and I think I had only been asleep for like an hour. I was like, it's a whole nother day now. I already lived that day, now I started the next day. Should I record again? Like, fuck. Should I go live? And then it was, and then I go on TikTok, and it's just like, oh my Lord. It is so weird. It's just like you're going through these things, and it's just like, wah, 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 on everyone. It's like, it's so intense. And it's just like, oh my God, this is so intense. And so many live, so many people, well, this is what's happening. Well, this is what's new, and blah, 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 blah. And everybody's just so intense. And I was like, oh, I don't think going live is the thing. I think I just need to kick back. And also, Newcastle After Dark was doing a Halloween special, and they were going to go live. Like, you could pay to go in and watch the movie with them. And I did that before. And this one was on Zoom, and I thought, well, that would be a lot funner before when I did it. I thought the Zoom would be more fun. But then yesterday I was like, oh my God, Stella's so interruptive. I always want to talk about weird shit. And nobody ever wants to talk about weird shit with me. So, it's not going to really be fulfilling, And plus they all drink. Everybody drinks while they're watching it, gets drunk. And, it's like, I don't know. I just wasn't into it. And it kept going though through my brain a couple times, like, well, you're not doing anything else. It's just like, I'm just not into it. And the live thing, I'm just not into it. Just everything feels off. And so I just, I don't know. I kept doing weird shit. I mean, there was a long period of time I just put on Led Zeppelin and sat on the couch and stared at the star things. But it's, like if I'm sitting there staring at something, I'm not just sitting there staring at something. I'm not even there. I'm not even in the room. I'm gone somewhere. And I enjoy that. I enjoy just spacing out and going into other places. So a lot of my day, I swear, was just like that. And I'll tell you what, the fucking stuff I made this morning, oh, it's good. I think I'm getting pretty good at this, this morning thing. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I think I noticed that I had said, I replaced matcha and chaga. So I want to say again, the chaga is mushroom. Chaga, and there's a bunch of different mushrooms. And now if you get into that whole thing, you'll have this mushroom, this is the mushroom you need. Well, this mushroom, this is the mushroom you need. So when you get into there, you have to make your own decisions over what things you need. I knew all the mushrooms because all the way back on that last husband of mine, when I said that last big old boy crush he had, it was the weirdest thing because he wouldn't admit it. It's like, fuck, dude, just said fucking admit it. No, it's like, dude, quit hiding this side of yourself. It's quite obvious. You got a big old crush on this really hot guy. And, I mean, like, don't fucking tell me. Like, I'm in bed. It's 10 o'clock at fucking night and I'm in bed. And you're out there trying to get him to stay. You're just out there talking to him. I wake up at 1 a.m. You're still out there. And all you can do every day is talk about what he thinks, what he likes, and what's he doing. And then you're talking about his wife's not good enough for him. Come on. And the guy was hot. Like, he was hot. I mean, just based on that. And that's something that I want to talk about that irritated me this morning. Because people are just so based on that. And but that guy, because he was there doing our floors for a while. And so I was there in the daytime and I would talk to him. And I wasn't in love with him. But he was cute. I mean, I can notice, you're a very good looking guy. Just natural good looking, just like, I didn't even have to try. Just everything went together right. So he was nice. He was down to earth. He was friendly. But I feel like that was kind of he was being friendly to my husband. My husband was didn't want him to leave. Like, I felt kind of bad for the guy. So, but that guy, because I was a lot newer in my brain injury too. And I think I'm way more better now. I mean, personally, I do. I feel better and stuff. I don't know if I was around like old friends that knew me before my brain injury, what they would say, like, yeah, you seem the same. You seem exactly the same. I don't think anybody said that. But anyways, it's just like, whatever, we change and stuff. But I still feel like I'm better. I feel like the other day, they sent me that temporary card, and then my daughter has it, so all I had was a picture. Somehow I could know the number. I haven't been able to do numbers. I used to know all my credit card numbers, everybody's phone number. Like, I knew, like, my memory was fucking good. Like, when I say my memory got fucked, it got fucked. I wasn't struggling with my memory. I had a memory that was fucking sensational. And, like, I thought I could go into, well, I don't know if I could go up against Mary Lou Henner, but I'm definitely was up in that level of memory. Like, I fucking had a good memory. And, like, I could go back, see things, like, and, so anyways, I got fucked. And it is aware, makes me quite aware that I can't remember stuff. But anyways, that guy, back to that, that guy, he was really into all the health food stuff. And he was the first one who started telling me about the mushrooms. He even went and he got me all this mushroom tea and he brought it to me. He was telling me to drink it. It was going to help my brain heal. Like this guy was a really, really cool guy. I don't think my brother, though my husband ever saw those parts of him. But I think my exes were a lot more like, I think all of them were just very into themselves. I think they all had like, because the pairing has to go. You know, if you're a weak ass bitch, you're going to be with a narcissist. It's like the pairing. It's like, what you're there to work out. You're there to work out get out of your weak ass bitch mode. And they're there to, you know, learn how to soften up a little bit. You know, don't be so uptight. Don't be trying to be protective of yourself so much. So we all have things we're learning, you know, so the pairings make sense. But, yeah, I don't think he was getting the same thing out of the relationship with the guy as I was. That's for sure. The guy's out there trying to help me. He's giving me all this health food, talking to me. So he was telling me about the different mushrooms. And so then when I saw some of those mushrooms yesterday or the other day when I went to the store and I got that matcha, which is green tea, but it's a different, it's not just regular green tea. If you read about it, it's something about, it's something about the molecular structure. And so it does something different. So it's better for you. You get like the good effects, but it doesn't give you the bad effects of waking up. And then, so I've got a whole bunch of mushrooms. Then I got a whole bunch of other shit. Like I got all sorts of leaves and roots and all sorts of shit. And so this morning I put it's like 20 things in my tea. It's like put a little of this, put a little of this, put a little of this. It's like I just start going with my little scooper, putting all these different things. And, you know, I keep trying to figure out like, well, maybe if I mixed them all up and I made like a paste, then I could take the paste out each day and just put a spoonful of the paste into my tea. And then I could just heat it up and do it like that. So I'm trying to think of different things like that. So today it might be that I try and come up with a paste that I can add like that. But right now I just have to make the whole thing each time. But it is really good. And this morning, because I have that coconut milk too, and I have the cacao. So I put some cacao and some coconut milk, and it tastes like hot chocolate. It tastes just like hot chocolate. And it's all mushrooms and all sorts of fucking roots and shit. It's really, really good. So anyways, you know, if you want to try and get it, and I'm telling you, it's so full of different antioxidants, different things that are, I can't remember all the different things. Antioxidant pops up really big in all of the different ones, but it's like they all help like your blood pressure, your hormones, your everything to, you know, get your system good. Just like the ashwagandha or something like that. That's good for your mood. Like there's all these things out there that will help. Like I don't know. Everybody's got to go on their own journey and stuff, you know. Oh, and on my hair journey, you know, I have the shampoo bars that I've used, and so I've ordered this new ones. It's supposed to be castor oil. It's supposed to not have anything in it but just like castor oil, rosary, stuff like that. So it's supposed to be here today. So I'm gonna wash my hair with that. But I'm not even shitting you. I can wash my hair because the shampoo bar I had before, because I've had the rice water ones, I've had different ones. But anyways, I want to try this castor oil one. So I've got these ones coming, and see. But I can wash my hair with that. It's like, I think I've washed my hair, I don't know, 3 times in the last couple weeks or something. But it will be like in 2 or 3 days, my whole head is drenched again with this sebum stuff. Like that to me has got to be healthy. It's got to be, because my hair is so healthy that it's just like keeping itself all moisturized or something. You know, and I know a lot of women as they get older, one of the things they complain about when they start going through menopause or premenopause or any hormone adjustments that start happening as they age is they start having a lot of problems with their hair. I think a lot of them, that's why they cut their hair and shit. because it starts getting drier and stuff. So you just got to keep, you know, brushing and brushing and brushing it. It moves that stuff through and coats your hair. And then it is probably the chemicals and shit. And then also probably stop coloring your hair. The color and shit is there to just wreck your hair. Like, fuck, when you really get into really realizing how determined these people were to poison us, like everything that you use is so poisonous. And the things that they wanted you to do, you know, fry off all your sensors, fry off your antenna. And I don't know, I feel like, you know, if you get your hair back healthy, you're trying to eat healthy, you're drinking a lot of things that are antioxidant, and keeping your blood clean and clear, and keeping your mind clean and clear, keeping your hormones going and stuff, you're gonna feel better. You're not gonna feel all of the things that you feel. Like, I was just thinking about, because I swear after the magnesium, I'm not having as much of the, I'm not having those, I don't know what to call them. It's like, it's not, because it's not like just your joints aching, even though your joints will swell up and you can't move them and stuff, and they'll get really stiff. But it is like this, it's like the sensors and the connective tissue. It is like, I just saw this video, and that's funny because that's going on the TV too. So I just saw this video of the sky one, which I'm really going to talk about. The sky one I saw yesterday. It was so fucking cool. This one is some people in Texas, I think, and they're outside in their yard, and they're like, what the hell is that? And they're looking up the sky, and it was super fast, and it just looked like a light go whoosh, and then one behind whoosh, and then one behind whoosh. And the guys who are video, they're like, I don't know, it's weird, it just keeps going around in circles. And where am I getting that from? I have no idea where I'm getting it from, but must be some other channeler that I had seen or something. And they said that the Galactic Federation said that's why we have got so many ships down here. They're pushing them to disclose. They're pushing them. So that's why all of these different things, you know, because it's out of their control. And they're trying so hard. Like, I don't know what all happened this weekend, but it's like, I don't know. For them to waste gatherings, it's like, well, what did they have planned? And I don't know if they wasted them, and I don't know if they were even real, because it's weird. Because, okay, when you go on there, and so you usually, you know, you can see lives, you can see things going on. And so when there's big protest or something, all the different people that are at these places are all going live. They're all sharing videos. There's video after video. So when there's big things, it's video after video after video after video after video after video of all these people at these places sharing what's going on. The weird thing is that there's none of those. I saw one yesterday, and it was he was live at Irvine. So I saw actual protests. He was live at it. The cops were, it was like a whole thing. And it was, you know, it was unremarkable because by the last time I had seen him live, he was talking to his friends. He was still live. He never had his face out of there. And, but he was saying, okay, well, now where are we going to go eat? We're going to go eat now. And so theirs was, you know, got over it. And I don't know the size of it. But the thing that is getting me is every time I would go on there, I would see these compilation videos. So there would be these big compilation videos, a whole bunch. And it would have like fucking 20 cities and big ones. Like it would have Denmark, Sweden, New York, California, Germany, like all these whole places. And then it would show, and always a video is like this fucking masterful shot from like drone shots or something. Everything's drones seeing this or something, because you see all these massive crowds. I mean massive. Like, what protest has ever brought this many people to the street before? When? Ever? Which is all weird, which we all know that we've got all these people coming from all over the place. All these sleeper cells coming in to, change the energy here, to get the, to stand up for their rights. And so when you're looking at them all and you see them and you don't see any of the footage of any of these people who were there, nobody's sharing about all this crazy fucking shit going on. And but there's like millions and millions of people, like literally millions, out on the streets in these giant ass things with this footage showing. I was like, this has got to be CGI. This can't be fucking real. So if there's anybody at any of these places that had, besides the one at Irvine, who actually saw one of these giant gatherings, like, I'm sure that there really is some. But the extreme amount that they're showing, I think that they're trying to manipulate us to get, like, to make us think that there's more people involved. Because if you think there's more people involved, then that make you think, well, God, I better do something. Everybody else is, But then also, how many people do you talk to who even fucking know about it? Who even fucking know anything's even going on? So nothing makes sense. The numbers don't make sense. The reactions don't make sense. It all seems like a lot of manipulation. And another thing too, is I heard, is across the whole UK, it was like supposedly Germany, Ireland, Spain, Scotland, England, like Italy, I think a whole bunch of places that nobody could access their ATM bank. Nobody could get money. All the banks were down, everywhere. And I've heard over here too that there's been banks going down. I've seen articles, I've seen videos but there's something also going on with our algorithm there. Besides just the fact that there aren't all these people at all these events that are sharing it, that there is just this weird thing. Like, they keep showing the same fucking videos. I have seen the same ass videos over and over and over and over. I've reached the end of all of them within a few minutes. And it's the same motherfucking videos. It's like, don't fucking tell, except that there's certain people who I'll see, they'll put out a new one. And it's weird. It's like, this person, all they do is just want to fucking be hateful. And just, ha ha ha. Yeah, now you'll see, you stupid ass fucking, you fucking liberal piece of shit. Like that kind of attitude. We got plenty of those out there. Let's push those forward. And then you got the other people who are like, yeah, well, you go ahead and vote for that fat fuck. We're going to be destroyed if they don't get us a better Democrat out there to vote for, if they're going to leave us with Joe, and freaking the fuck out. It's like, it's so crazy when you see these people so entangled in this fucking government and this election shit. It's like, dude, this is all about to go. This is crazy. You're so invested in something that is going. It's like you're pushing and it's going to fall right down. Where are you going then? What are you going to do with all your anger? What are you going to do with all your resentment? What are you going to do with all your, we have to have those people in there to fix it. We can't fix our own problems. Let's rely on these fucking pieces of shit. Get in there and fix them for us. It's like, ugh. There's so much that has to change. Like, when you see the dependency of people's, they lose their goddamn minds. It's like, Mom and Dad are leaving town without me? Oh my God, what am I going to do? It's like, come on. Maybe they're giving you a chance to fucking show you can grow up. Like, don't be so fucking dependent. And this thing that irritated me this morning, because this girl, she is, she's very attractive. And she's mostly kind of natural. She's got, this giant thing of lashes on. But she doesn't seem like she wears a lot of makeup or anything. And I don't know. I don't think her hair is extensions. She has a lot of long hair. She obviously takes care of her body, and she wants to show it all the motherfucking time. I don't understand these girls that just like, yeah, everybody can see you're attractive. What are you trying to get here? Like, you're just attention seeking, and it's embarrassing. And then to set up your whole shot. Like, I'm going to set up a shot. I'm going to go lay on my bed. I'm going to set this shot up so I can make sure. I want to make sure I get this. I want to get that. I want to, it's like, why? Why? I don't understand. What are you? And then when you just keep trying to talk about, like, you're just out there trying to find, every time I see her talking, she's always talking about relationships and dating and trying to find this right guy and the things that she looks for. Like, so this morning she was telling the story that irritated me was the whole scene, the whole setup thing, and then to try and lay there in this most awkward position and act like this is all natural. You look so uncomfortable. You look so awkward. You look like I'm just trying to show my nice flat stomach and my nice cleavage, like everybody get up on in here. So I want to make sure to draw everyone in. There's got to be someone out there who likes me. Please, everybody, look at my body and then tell me if you like me. What a sad world. Oh my God, what a sad world. So she was talking about, she was really impressed because this guy out in real life came up, I think at the gym, came up to her and asked for her number. And so, it was over here by me. She said the Pacific Northwest. I'm not quite sure where she's at because she said that in the Pacific Northwest, which most of those guys are so feminine. No, most of those guys are all feminist. I don't know. I don't date these. I'm single. I'm single by choice, and like, I already know who my person is. I don't need to date in between. I'll just wait until they figure it out. So once they figure it out, then once they get to that place, because all this seeing your person or whatever, when you start getting into the higher minded, like trying to evolve into emotional maturity, what we are actually doing is emotionally evolving, becoming emotionally mature. So while you're doing it, each person has their own triggers. Each person has their own stuff, and depending on your communication with your guides, then, like, my guides walked me through it. And I'm not for a fucking second gonna say it was easy. Like, once I get to the part where it seems like, oh, you won, you did it, you finished, you completed it, then, I'll be able to tell more about the journey to get there. But, I'm not across the finish line yet. So, you go through triggers, and you have to go in and, talk to your guides. And your guides will explain things and help you to see things and look at things differently. So, to me, I don't know how people do it. Like, honestly, I don't. I can't figure out, like, how people live. And but then even after, because it seems the way it works is that you don't, like, just know each other. It's not like, no, this is somebody who you don't just have in your orbit. You is like, oh, that is cool. I hadn't thought of it like that before. But it's kind of like, okay, so you're on one timeline. So you're on this timeline. You're birthed in, you're on this timeline, you're working on you, and whatever degree. I mean, don't think of just working on you as like you're actually trying to do better. You're just trying to survive. Let's just go with it. You're just trying to survive. You're birthed in. You're trying to survive. You're confused. You don't know what the fuck. You're beat down already. You're 2 years old. You already feel like, what's the point of life? I don't get it. So you start going through in the people in your orbit, the people who come in and out of your life. So you have these people that come in and out of your life. Then as you start raising and growing and developing, it's like you propel yourself out of that orbit. You move yourself out of that space. It's weird because it's like micro, macro, what we're doing right now. So you move yourself out of that space and you go into another. It always reminds me of back when, the tribes or the Vikings or whatever, and once a guy had reached a certain maturity before he could go take a wife or something, he had to go out and prove he was a man. He had to go out and live a winter alone in the woods or something. And that to me is that part of yourself, the maturing part, the part that you need. That part, what am I made of? Who am I? What the fuck am I doing? Can I take a wife? Am I ready for that? And, facing your challenges for yourself, showing yourself what you can accomplish, what you can do, what you're made of. So it's an important part of development as far as I'm concerned. And so, none of us have taken that. And so when you're going through your stuff, and then to me, it was like everything started changing. And so we all started seeing like, oh man, we gotta move. We gotta do something different. And, here I am, end up over here in this place away from all my family, isolated and alone around a bunch of people that I'm not in alignment with, that is very awkward, that definitely keeps me in isolation. But what the isolation is really good for me, but it also, all these different things like keeps me focused on different things. Doesn't keep me focused on, well, what are you doing tonight? Well, let's get together. Let's bar, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm focused on something different, but it's real. It's what's real. Everybody else thinks the barbecue is real. No, your connection to the universe, to yourself is what's real. All those are experiences to help you learn and discover yourself. But so while you're going through, it's like you make a choice. You make a choice. Am I going to stay here in this, with all these toxic, it just is like a toxic kind of orbit. You got to break free from it to figure out what your attachment is. How to make it better. Get your parents, how can I improve this relationship? I don't want to have a shit-ass relationship with my parents. How can I improve this? Yeah, they're stupid. Yeah, they're immature. Yeah, they're angry. Yeah, they're whatever the thing is. But most people want to have a decent relationship with their parents. That's what causes them so much pain, is not being able to have it, because we have these attachments through there's a reason, because we are all attached in this development stage. And so when you go out of that and you start focusing on you are changing it's like you change your timeline. It's like you change and focus on you. So you're no longer just in this a storm where you're just taking what comes to you. You're going out determined to find your way and focusing on you and figuring out what you want, where do you want to be, who do you want to be with, and stuff like that. Figuring out about you. And then, so when you do that, you have people who you're attached to, apparently, that you came here with, but they aren't in this orbit. They're in this other one. But how do you get to that other one? How do you get to this other place where they're at? And you can't, how do you get there? So you have to go inside. You have to go and listen to your guides, and they guide you. as to what, and it may not make any sense. They may say, you know, we want you to go start this YouTube channel. We want you to start talking to a bunch of strangers and stuff like that. And it's like, what? What? You know, and they may tell you to, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. And they're like, yeah, but this is what you got to do. And even on some parts, like on that part of it, when they told me, I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm so weird. And they're like, in the conversation, it's like, okay, well, you know, if they think you're weird, then they're not the right person for you. And you got to follow your guidance. You got to follow what you're here to do. You got to do what you're supposed to do. And trust the process. So, you know, for me, it's saying, I always listen to them. And, but what they have shown me or told me is that then once it's like it's on this other realm where this is all happening, but you pull closer together in the physical from this other work that you do. So you pull yourself into orbit with this person by working on yourself. So you pull in towards this person by just you working on yourself, by you learning how to love yourself and work on yourself. You don't have to go out and do anything to this person or whatever. But once this person sees you, once they get the trigger, once they get that feeling of, and it's weird too, because it seems that the soul makes a choice themselves. Like to me, it was weird because after my last relationship, I said, I'm done. I'm done. I was the last one for me. And then, you know, I'm going through my stuff and living my life, having fun. And then it was the trigger. That's when the trigger came in. And I was just like, what? Wait a minute. What? But it's like you have to choose you. You have to choose yourself. And then it somehow triggers this other individual. And then they'll trigger you back. So there's this weird triggering that goes back and forth in this other realm. Like, and so they have to be triggered. They have to see you. They have to remember. They have to go through all of the different things that they get triggered in. And it's going to bring up things in them that are deep-seated wounds, because that's the stuff that the two souls are there to help each other bring out, this old deep crap, get rid of it. And so it is, it's a triggering thing that helps the people heal. But it's this whole weird thing about this soul attachment. Like you're constantly being pulled towards this person and they're being pulled towards you. And it's universal. But when I see these people out here, like, okay, so she was, so she went to the gym, and this guy, he comes up to her and says he would like to get her phone number. So she gives it to him. And so then she goes home to tell TikTok and tell everybody, you know, set up this sexy shot and get ready to, you know, talk about how this guy wants her in person. And, you know, he's really nice. And, you know, she's impressed. And he just liked her smile so much. He just had to get her number. And so what she's talking about, and she's like, you know, and I looked at him, you know, and I didn't get a really good look, but I did look at him, and he did seem to be my type. It's like, see, that's what, there's something wrong. It isn't, you're not supposed to just be out there looking for your type. You're not supposed to just be out there looking. Who is meant to come to you will come to you. Just like that girl. She wasn't on the Tinder. She's out in public, and a guy came up to her. That is, when the person comes up to you, that is somebody who's there to teach you. Whatever the lesson may be. You know, and who knows, maybe it'll be a guy who's very classy, and he'll tell her, you know, I would really appreciate it if you'd put some clothes on. I don't really want you know, like, it's weird because girls get so offended by that, and they don't get it. Like, this is such a communication breakdown on the girls who want to go and just take all their clothes off and sit around in a, goddamn bra and boy shorts and talk a serious talk and tell how, let's focus on my mind. Let's focus on, it's like, girl, are you kidding? So, and these girls, like, girls, like, seriously, if you were out there, have your butt with just like a sheer piece of fabric on it, and you're out there bouncing your butt cheeks and trying to, bend over as far as you can, shaking it and stuff like that. The guys who are attracted to that, who are all want to get up on there, do you really think that a classy guy who's not like that is going to stand back and watch all that and be like, well, that's the girl for me? Like, you're drawing in exactly what you're putting out. You're putting out what you're drawing in. And that's what this one girl just can't seem to get in her head. And then she tries to make it out to be like it's the guy's fault. It's like, you are going out trying to be seductive on social media, barely dressed, getting up there like, oh, really? And all these fucking lip syncing. Oh my God. I swear to God, I don't hardly ever see a good one. They're all shitty. I don't understand. And I see it like, this is where you get to hear my judgmental side. It's like, they're not even good at it. Well, and then I have decided, well, they're having fun. Man, but is this the time? The fucking world is blowing up and they're just sitting around in their underwear, dancing around like there's nothing to worry about in the world. It just is so shallow. It's so absurd. It's so cut off from reality. It's so pathetic. It's so desperate. It's so, like, there's a lot of issues with it. Like, I can't just sit back and go like, yeah, this is a classy society. And boy, we're full of the class, aren't we? We got all these, like, what in the hell? When you hear these people from other countries, like, talk about us and stuff, it's like, well, it makes sense. What the fuck? Now, everything's got to go more and more extreme. I guess now we've got the Victoria's Secret angels now are not just all born female, but they're attractive. They're good looking trans, but this is just this constant push, and they want to get these guys, which will just be where the guys will stop looking at them. They won't go and watch them and see. Like a girl, she wouldn't care less. A girl, if all of a sudden it was a trans person, they wouldn't be like, I would still be like, wow, she really is pretty. God damn, she looks good. Wish I looked that good. But a guy would be like, fuck that bullshit. Because the guy got turned on by seeing it, and then he got disgusted by himself. You can't get disgusted by yourself for having a natural reaction to seeing something attractive. If you see someone attractive, your brain's just reacting to the attractiveness. Don't go and look at this shit. And that's what's going to end up happening. Guys are going to start getting so mad at themselves for getting turned on by a person with a dick that they're going to just stop watching. That's, that's the hand of God. Everything they do, it just blows up in their face because they have drawn too many people in with their, their corn and their, they want it to be such a, like a perverted, it isn't just perverted, it's, I can't think of that word, because I can see, it'll probably come to me, but the degenerate, like they want, it's like degenerate society, and this is disturbing, man. You keep getting all these busts. There keeps being tons and tons of busts. So this one, it happened, and I don't remember where it was. They're all over. Arizona, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Ohio, Michigan, Chicago. They're everywhere. And this one, I can't remember what it was, but it'd be easy to find because the big headliner story is one of the guys was trying to purchase a little girl to consume. That's what he was looking for. And I don't know what website these people interact on. This was a big sting operation, apparently. And they did a big sting. They got a bunch of people. And they were all talking to him on the internet or something. So every guy who showed up at this house, this is the same sting, I think, that they've been doing for a long time, even when they were doing it on Dateline. But so they talk to him online or whatever. Then they tell him to come show up at their house. And the one who was purchasing somebody to chow down on, I think he thought he was talking to, one of the instigator people, a salesperson or something. I don't think he thought he was talking to the one he was going to chow down on. And but a lot of the people, they thought they were talking to the person they were coming to bang it out with, some 12, 14-year-old. I mean, a lot of these guys. God, oh God, I can't even imagine being, I can't imagine being attracted to children. And if you are, work on your impulses, work on getting your shit together. You can get out of that. Any of your weirdo fucking impulses you have. You sit there every fucking time you see a woman walk by and all you can think about is bending her over and, doing mean things to her. Or you see a dog, and every time you see a dog, you think about, any of your weird shit. Any of your weird shit that you keep hidden in your brain that you don't want other people to know about. You can fix that. That doesn't mean something's wrong with you or that you're broken or any of that shit. It means you just aren't managing the manner. You don't have good mind control. So you just got to get control of yourself. And, you can manage. You can figure it out, but you got to put work into it. But no matter, if you got a sicko perversion and you work on it, resensitize yourself. Go backwards from what happened. They desensitized you, but you can, and everybody's got to figure it out for themselves. Like if you've gotten yourself out of being able to enjoy just normal connection with a human being, you got to go back and figure out how to, like, to me, it is like going without it. There's a way that you can spin it. Everything has got a way you can spin it. You got to figure out, and just remember in like certain things of going backwards, awareness, like stepping back from your initial thing. Like if you remember all of a sudden, like, at some age, all of a sudden I turned perverted when I was 13 because, I found my dad's magazine and it was full of S&M. And all of a sudden I found I was attracted to that. I found it turned me on. And then I just started doing all that stuff because, it was the drive inside of me. It was a desire that I followed. And it just got to the point where nothing could sustain it. Nothing could to fill it. Nothing could substantiate, I can't think of the word, but anything to make it worse or use it or whatever. Like if you get worse and worse and worse. And that is what's up with these people. Like last night before I went to bed, this was like being shown to me so strong. And I don't remember what it was. Something happened. But it was, these people don't feel like they literally, that's what it was. Yeah. Because I saw a thing about, there's all these kids that keep going missing. Whenever they put up the pictures, it's always darker skinned kids. Always. And so, I'm talking to my guides and I'm making, I just saw that. And then there was another, like, there's more things that they'll use to put it into my mind so I'll see. But so it's like I'm asking questions. And so what they showed me was that they are trying to take the melanin out of the people. So they take all these little kids, and then they try and take something out of them. So they do it with the chrome, but there's stuff inside of them that they can take that gives them so they can feel. Like, these people can't feel. They can't feel anything. They're cut off. They don't. Like, when they were showing me this last night, I was like, oh my God, what a horrible, horrible way to live. To get yourself to the point of just being empty. You just don't feel anything. You don't feel love. You don't feel compassion. You don't feel caring. You don't feel joy. You don't feel happiness. You just don't feel. And so not only does that stuff prolong their life, but it gives them, whether if it's just for a few minutes or something, they get a feel. So it's like they're all desperate to feel, and they have to use these other people's energy to siphon off of so that they can feel. But there's going to be a lot that, about this, the melanin, and about, as white folk that they tried to make into their little zombie people, and then all of the natural people, and that they just use them. They steal their kids. Not to say they don't ever steal little white kids. I mean, there's tons of perverts out there, and they all want all different ones. That one lady who was talking about, she was a gangster one, and people are starting to share her video now. And she said, keep your kids off the social media and shit. She said that's where they find them. These people, these weirdos, just sit there on social media all day long, and they find them, and then they hire people like her to go out and find them. And they go get them. And she said, I'm just cutting off their finger and taking their finger back is $350. You take all these different things, and they want these things. And the people who are desperate for money, because that's what they do, they try and create criminals by making people desperate so that they have somebody to do their dirty work. And then they get these people to go out there and snatch up these kids and stuff. And these people, the snatchers, are like, come on, people, stop doing this. This is getting real sick out here. But, get a call. Well, look at this one, and send them a picture. Go find her for me. And so and it's all different things. I mean, just like that one guy just came right out and said he just wanted to eat her. He just wanted to eat her. That's what his plan was. It's all over the news. And for there to be so much all over the news, I think that is part of the hand of God to come in and get people to start waking up, to get prepared for what's to come. Because the shit I'm seeing coming out, I mean, Finkelstein fucking, not only they just put it all in the sausages and stuff, and it was really gross too. It was like yesterday, I kept seeing videos with sausages. It's like, this is so disgusting. In a lot of countries, they eat a lot of sausage. I was thinking, well, they probably are a little safer because they may actually know the animal it came from. They may have actually taken their own cow down and had it slaughtered and got their own sausages. Here, that's not how it occurs. And so all of the sausage in this one video, it was this pizza, and I think it's in Pittsburgh or something. And it's this deep dish famous pizza. It's like weighs 10 pounds or something. And it's got all this pizza crust. And then they put a whole fucking thing of cheese on there. And then they put 2 goddamn pans. They cook all the pepperoni on a big old giant pan. So much pepperoni, I can't even believe it. So 2 full pans of pepperoni on this one fucking pizza. I've never seen so much pepperoni on a pizza. And that's all I could think the whole time when they were cooking it and then putting it all on there. I was like, oh my God, this is so gross. So gross. And how many people, and they think, well, I went to that pizza place. They've been there for 40 years. They're not out there getting people and putting it in there. No, but they buy their shit from manufacturing plants that do. But go listen to the fucking Rabbi Finkelstein, whatever the fuck that weirdo guy's name is. They own that shit. They own the meat manufacturing places. They bring their leftovers after they fucking finish with the golem. Then they take them to the plant and we chop them up and we put them back to the people. And this stupid golem who is just like, oh my God. Go listen to the motherfucker. And it's all over the goddamn. I've seen so many articles that have come out. This place has been busted. This place has been busted. Fucking mortician places are busted. Selling fucking like, it's gross. It's gross. I don't even know, like, who the fuck was out there doing these jobs? Like, goddamn. Like, there's some fucking weird ass people. I mean, I don't even know. Like, do they just go and find some druggies on the street? Like, I know that they get a lot of kidnapped kids to run those meat factory, because that one of those already got busted. And I knew before I even saw it. I was like, well, hell yeah, that's who they're going to have doing it. Why wouldn't you take the other kids that were nabbed, take them down and say, this is going to happen to you. Better do what we say. Hell yeah, they're going to be down there doing it. And they got busted. Like fucking last year, I think. That meat packing place in middle of the night. And they have all fucking 10-year-olds down there. And it's all this human shit. Like, yeah. There's so many people that just think, oh, that's crazy talk. You just think about weird shit. Well, buckle up. Get ready. Get ready to get fucking grossed out. What you've fucking been eating. And yesterday, the coolest ass footage. Like, this was so motherfucking cool. I tried to get some screenshots because this was live. And it was crazy, too, because there was only like 6 to 9 of us in there. And I kept commenting, and then I look and I see, like, I'm the only one commenting. But she had, like, 176 likes. So a few people went in there. But I don't understand how people are not more. Like, it's crazy. So she is somebody who's really into the sky stuff. I didn't ever know her until yesterday when she was live and she was saying this stuff. So she was really into the sky stuff. And this was her first time to ever go live. And she does these videos to try and to show this stuff. And somebody, her son or something, said, you got to go out and get it live and show and see, because I bet people want to see this. And I don't know where she was. I asked in the thing, but she wasn't talking. She was just talking. She wasn't answering questions. She wasn't reading the comments. And so I don't know where she was. And I tried to even go look on our page and see where she was, because I know that there's different things up in the sky for us all. And so this was cool as fucking shit. This made me think, okay, that fucking Star of David thing was probably for sure real, because this was so fucking wacky. So, and it's hard to explain. And I just would say everybody's got to get out there and keep looking at the sky. Keep watching the sky. I think the sky is going to make us watch. I think something's going to happen to really be phenomenal, because this was fucking insane. You know, so I don't know how to explain it, because it was like, okay, so just imagine how the sky, just, you know, regular sky from the time you were a kid, just regular old sky, big old blue sky with some clouds. So you just have this regular sky. Then right in the middle of the sky, so just dead ass in the middle. So you go outside on this side, that side. Everywhere around it is this beautiful blue sky. But there's this big, giant patch right through the middle that is completely separate from everything else. And it's a completely different color. It's got different colors. The clouds don't hit into it like everything. Like it's so trippy. And then what even is crazier is you could see that it was, here I'm holding over there so you can't see. So I should have drawn the picture. So, you know, a sphere like this, right? There was three of them, 3 spheres, and each one crossed into the other. And so it was like a pattern. And it was like you could light up and you could see this pattern, and the lights was coming up from behind it. And you could see this, the sphere and the colors and these rainbow colors that were coming. It was so fucking cool. And like I said, I got a couple of screenshots, but And she said, you know, she couldn't even get it all in there to really show so you could see how fucking phenomenal. She kept saying, you got to get out there and look up in the sky more. There's going to be more and more of this. But it was literally look like you could see the grid or something. It was huge too. I'm not saying like little tiny, no, huge. And she was saying, I think the further back you go, the more you can see it. But I don't know. Man, is the sky going to all of a sudden, we're going to see like this pattern so we understand like this grid and then it's going to explode out or something? Like, I don't know what is going to go down. She said too, when she was out there, because I had said this a while ago, and see, she said it yesterday. She said, man, I don't understand what the sky is or something. Like all this blue. She said, it seems kind of like we're in a bubble in the ocean or something. And that is what I've said so many times. And it's kind of like that our bubble's going to pop. And then we're going to be opened up to so much more adventure. The bubble popping is, you know, the hymen being removed from us. That, you know, we've become mature by the time that goes. So it's a good thing. It's nothing to fear. It's a positive that we have matured enough to not have to be contained and confined. But see, in the micro macro, we're having to break free from our containment, having to break free from our confinement, having to stand up for ourselves. And it's that motion, it's that movement, it's that determination in our sense of self that moves it, that actually is the creator, the creation of the firmament, you know, the everything breaking apart, everything that contains us and confines us to bust free, because it's our movement in that energy. It's the way that we are moving ourselves, of not wanting to be confined. But that is a part of why they keep confining us so much, is to push that on us. I don't want to be confined. I don't want to be held back. And I know that, you know, bridge crashing and shit like that, that is, it's all about containment. It's all about control. It's all about keeping us frustrated and stuff. And so to me, right now we're waiting on their counter. You know, I thought yesterday, I don't know if any, I mean, I don't even know if there was any really big, giant protests. Like, I mean, it's so strange to see so many compilations of these giant, I am not shitting you, how fucking giant these protests were. And not one single person with any videos of being there. Except for that one guy in Irvine. There should have been, for that many fucking videos, TikTok should have been so overrun with especially live videos being out there. And all the live videos I saw were just the same old thing of people just like this being up there like, well, no, what I think is going on. You know, it's just tons and tons of people. You know, we all have different ways that we look at things. You know, I feel like I have, you know, my take on it is based on my spirituality over my whole entire life. So I have a different view of what's going on that is a lot different than a lot of other people. Even the people who claim to be spiritual now, so many of them are this new spirituality that isn't, it's more fake, it's more surface, it's more phony. It's not like they haven't been living their lives in a spiritual perspective, trying to understand this world in a spiritual way, trying to develop themselves. And, you know, it's a different way of looking at life. So they've been living a 3D life. And even when they go into spirituality, they try and turn the spirituality into a 3D life. So, you know, about manifesting your $1 million and get your crystals and all this shit. Do your spells, do your ceremonies, do this candle burning, don't eat meat. All their shit that they say. It's like when you've been going through your own spiritual thing, it's like, for one thing, you don't tell other people what to do, how to do it, when to do it, or anything. Yeah, it's everybody's at their own pace. And then plus, all these people who, as soon as they wake up, all of a sudden they're life coaches. They're charging people $1,000 because you woke up. Well, what are you fucking passing on to them? But it's all these different lessons. All these different people have all different lessons. And, as an observer sitting and watching, it's just like, damn. I think all these girls that are being out there fucking just selling themselves out, their bodies, just showing their bodies to try and get attention, to try and, like, if you draw in 100 guys watching your butt shake, I guess they think that surely one of them will really like them. It's like, yeah, but the one guy who really likes you, does he really want everybody to be lusting over you shaking your ass? Like, you got to have respect for the person. If you really believe you have a person who's out there who you're coming into alignment with, you have to have respect for them. You're moving towards something. So you start loving and respecting them before you ever get there. You don't sit there just like, well, they're not there yet, so I'm just going to go out here and show all my body to every guy, and any guy who wants to talk to me and make me feel good, then I'm going to focus on that. Then you're disrespecting yourself and you're disrespecting your future partner. I saw this girl the other day and I thought this was cool because she was somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was out on a Friday night or something. And it was one of these people, maybe they were out live or something, and they stopped her and were talking to her because she was dressed different. She wasn't dressed all like sexy. And so he was asking her, and she said, well, I focus on my future husband and I respect him, and I wouldn't want to be out here, showing all my body off to all these other people when I know that that would hurt him in the future. And see, that is the thing, to believe in herself, to believe that she's going to have somebody who's going to be with her, who's going to respect her and love her, and she's going to respect and love them before they've even come in. So she will draw them in. They will come because she believes it and she's working towards it. That's how manifesting works. You believe it. You believe what you're told. You believe in your future that they show you, and then you go towards it in faith and trust, and then you love the person before you ever even meet them. You're connected to them. And so, these girls who are out here just constantly fishing, trying to get a guy to like them, And then you see these girls. And I mean, this girl, she's a professional. She's attractive. But try and find a fucking video with her dressed. Like, there's not many. I have seen a few because, that was something that stood out a long time ago on her videos to me. And I always just be like, I followed her for a while, and then I think I quit following her because it's like, how many times do I need to see you in your underwear talking about shit? And it's not just her underwear. She wears like leggings, those real tight pants, but then, like a bra shirt, like a tiny shirt. So it's like, but none of that stuff. Like, there's the body shots have certain angles and stuff what they're trying to promote and show to get attention, because they know what features are going to pull somebody in. And it's like they want to pick and choose through all these people. And then so a guy comes in, and then plus the catfishing that goes on these social medias. Like, you don't know who the fuck this person is. And then you're going to look at their picture and be like, yeah, he's my type. Yeah, I'm going to talk to him. It's like, what in the wackadoo shit is going on? Like, the person who, it will be more of that, where she was out in public and the person came up to her. The people who come into your orbit, the people who you need to focus on, they're there to teach you lessons. They come to you. And, and when you're in this part where you are, this person that you don't know, that you're two different orbits. Like, I don't know what brings the crash. Like, to me, I know that we've already are aware of one another. And I'm sure that the awareness of me has triggered a lot of things. So I can't sit here and be like, well, hurry up. You better get over here and love me. What kind of love relationship is that? You have to be allow people to go through their stuff, allow people to grow, allow people to develop, allow them to come into their own. And so, you can't be pushing. And that is something I see a lot of these girls that start getting mad and they start focusing on their rejection. This person's rejecting them. Well, those what can feel that way, but those triggers, those rejection and stuff is the stuff that you need to work on. Like, why do I feel rejected? Why do I feel like, I'm not good enough? Why do I feel like you got to go into your own stuff? And then always like step back. Where does this come from? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like I'm never good enough? Why do I feel like I'm never going to get it? Whatever it is that goes and feeds you to cause separation. So many people feel so alone and separated through this time period. And but there's going to be a shuffling. Like things are going to shuffle around. And I don't know, all the different things, Like, I don't know if the person who is going to approach me is going to say something to me on, approach me somehow on here, or if the universe is going to say, well, we're done waiting on that. We're just going to put you in the same room together. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's to come. And that is where you have to learn to just trust and sit back and go like, well, I know this is happening. And even if I fucking try and question it, it's almost like at this point, they're kind of like get frustrated with me. Like, come on, where are we in this? Like, come on, Kelly. It's almost been 6 years. Like, catch up. So, so much. But I do have strong guidance. I do have guys that are sitting there talking to me and telling me all the time and helping me and having me see things and talk me off of cliffs. And, that to me, that is your emotional maturity. That is where you want to get to. You want to be talking to your guides because they will give you a sense of understanding so that you don't feel desperate. Like these girls, they're not connected to themselves. They're not connected to their spirit and stuff. The one girl who was doing the big public breakup with her husband, now she's constantly out there like dancing around and always skimpy clothes, dry, it's just, there's a formula of desperation in these girls. And it's so crazy too, because I don't know how often they get called out, but when their reactions and stuff, well, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to, like, what are you trying to do? Like, if you were in a healthy, happy relationship and you were with somebody and you felt happy and you saw girls that were out there in their underwear, video after video, dancing around, shaking their ass, and then you see duets and stitches, the guys lusting over their fucking butts and shit like that, what would you think? You just put yourself in that other position as a new perspective. Get out of the perspective of where you are the participator. You're the one doing it. Stand back and look at yourself. Look at it from another person's perspective. Look at it from over here. Look at it from over there. How do you see yourself now? How do you feel about yourself now? And that, to me, is going to be a huge part of this. Like, man, I can see it coming so hard. Like, I can see, like some of these people, I'll see them talking and see their videos and see their attitude. And it's like, I can see what's about to go down with them. I can see what's coming. I can see how they're going to get hurt or hit, how it's going to hit them and where it's going to hurt them. And it is so much over and over and over and over again. It's the ego about the what it is that's going to be the real thing that hurts. And because people think they're doing the right thing. They think that they're just all inflated. They're all full of themselves. And so they think they're doing the right thing. But then when things switch, when things turn the other direction, and they're going to get such a different view of everything they've done, everything they've thought, everything they've said, everything. It is like, it's like you're celebrating Halloween and Christmas. And all of a sudden they're going to realize. So it is going to be like a big And I really feel like there's going to be so many people that are going to just be like such mass confusion when things flip the other way. Because they're so fucking locked in on what they think. And right now, I feel like we're waiting for the other people to do something. And it seems like, so the White Hats have pushed. I don't know what they did, but the White Hats pushed something to push it through, to cause the next reaction. It seems like this weekend, you know, I don't know, maybe a bunch of places did blow up and just didn't make the news. I don't know. But if there was no reaction, you know, but wasn't it a Monday when the towers went down? Like, so, because, you know, it seemed like, well, that seems like their perfect opportunity to go out and just blow some shit up, doesn't it? But then it's like, well, man, is it mostly their instigators out there and they don't want to blow that shit up? And they just want to see some numbers, maybe get us to think like, oh, everything's fine, you know, or, you know, it's always this manipulating our brains. And so, I don't know, but I think theirs is the next move. And when they make their next move, that's when the big shebang goes down. And I think also the reason that there's all this activity in the sky is also to push them to make a move. And but I think that they've kind of run out of moves, that they don't, you know, they're kind of fucked. They're backed in a corner. They're surrounded. Like this sting operation started a long time ago, and it was coming from around them. And there was so many people taken down, like their contacts and stuff. Just like that one guy was talking about, like the city, the county, the state, all these families that run our communities and shit, run our, you know, they run our lives from the inside. They control, contain where things get built, how they get built, who's going to have this business, who's going to have that business. They don't let people who are not in alignment with them become competition. So they control and contain us from in all directions. And, you know, but all of those different people, like you think about some of those people, they don't know who they're talking to on the phones. You know, and you know how many people do go out and put out orders and shit. Like they've all been caught and contained throughout this sting operation. So there was people who were going down who other people didn't even know. Like there was a lot of tricking going on, a lot of double agents and stuff. So this big operation has been huge. And it's so weird how there's still people who don't think anything's going on. They think Trump's a bad guy and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know the guy personally. I know, you know, he's probably done some bad stuff, and we've all done some bad stuff. And I think he's trying to redeem himself if he has done bad stuff, because he's trying to do a lot of good stuff. And he's trying to give us our freedom. He's trying to get us to wake up. He's trying to get us to see and think for ourselves. So, you know, I think he's trying to do some good things, but you know, I don't know him personally or something, and it isn't about that. Like, people get so caught up. You have to think of it as action. It's the players. It's an antagonist and a protagonist. It's getting us to see. It's a thing playing out. It's a movie. So, yeah, but this one is going to be so much of like, you know, you think it's this guy is doing all the bad stuff, but then it switches over. As they need the fall guy, but because they need to bring up all the stuff that the other guy has done so that we understand. And then it's like, you know, goes to the other guy. Oh, it was really him. It wasn't even him. And that's going to just flip a lot of people upside down. Like, I can't believe the TDS that still goes on. But then when I saw some of that, the one in Irvine, and just seeing the people out there, it was weird. I was watching it because it was so weird. It literally looked like I was watching some sort of movie or something. It was weird. It was weird how the people were walking. It was weird how it was weird. I was like, oh, this is so weird. This is like sitting back and watching three-dimensional life happen. It was trippy. And it was, And it was trippy because it was like, I'm just watching this like a movie, but there's people who were there living it and they feel it, like they're experiencing it, but I'm watching it. And I don't know, it was a whole other reality check for me when I was watching this. It was trippy and they were moving weird. Everything was weird about it. And this one girl, when she walked by and she grabbed her kid's hand and stuff, it was so weird. And the way that people were all moving and interacting. And I don't even remember why I was saying that, but it was very, very strange. It looked so weird. And it was, I can totally see what they're saying about these separate realities, about like some people are in 3D, some people are like, we're all in these different states of mind right now, and these different, different reality checks. We're all in different places. And, but when I was seeing them, what was I going to say? Because there was something else about seeing them. I can't remember what I was going to say, but it was weird. It was definitely weird. And, something about, oh yeah, okay. Because it was, seeing the people's faces and seeing them walk around and how they were, I was like, oh my God, this is like SJW. They're all out there just to prove to the other person. Prove to this person, prove to that person. Don't even know that person. Prove to that person over there. I'm a good person. I care about people. I'm out here marching. It was like the whole thing just seemed like that. Almost like it was mindless. Like they're much more out there marching to show they're a good person who cares than they even know what the fuck they're marching about. It seems so much like that. It seemed just like all these people, the way that they were smiling at each other and walking around and stuff. I was like, they're all just so puffed up and proud of each other. Just like, look at what good people we are. We're the best people. And that has been our fucking issue throughout this whole thing. This whole thing, do what you're supposed to and all that. So it was like, I was seeing those ones and I was like, it's kind of like a purge out of that energy. Of this, like, oh, we're just such good people. We're doing all this because we're good people. We care about other people. And there's so much shit going down over there at the Strip and shit. Like, I mean, you got the all this shit with the Zion and the Jews, and like, I guess there's Jews now realizing that they've been under control. There's everything has got to, it's all of everything has got to bust apart. Everything's got to blow up. Everything's got to fall apart. There can't be anything left. You can't hold on to, well, I'm going into the new world and I'm all about love and stuff, but I'm a Zionist, and you got to let go of all of these labels, all of these identifiers that you think you are. You got to let go. You got to try and go, into yourself and figure out, why do I think I'm this? Why do I think I'm that? And I think it seems that there's a lot of Jews who are really kind of shocked about what's happening. And I think that there's some that didn't even realize, like, the control. I think there's some that didn't realize, like, there was so many bad people involved with them. Like, and I kind of feel like right now, for the bluish population, that they were kind of been trained since their birth as that they are separate from us, that they're different than us, that they're better than us, and that they do have a way of, in that community, keeping money afloat. And I think that that is what really got Hitler pissed off back in the day. And I still don't know what all of the stuff about that. Still, I feel like we've been lied to a lot about this shit. And even to the point where they went and took people over there. Like, were they telling them the truth? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much fucking lies. So much lies all the way back, and all about these blues and all about these, there's so much lies in our history. And this part is like why I think you should be paying attention to what's going on over there, because I think it's showing our truth. And there's like all these different people who didn't even know that they were under control. And I don't know, there's different sects or something in that religious organization. But I think that they were very much like they saw themselves as the chosen people, and they elevated their people. They made sure. And there was something all the way back because if you watch that movie, I think The Woman in Gold, but I know that back then there was a lot of rich people. The Blues were rich, and they had a lot of money. They had all the art. They had all the money. They had, and I think that it was the other people, the, Germans and stuff that were more poor. And I think the other guys started getting angry that the other people were like money hoarders and started stealing their stuff and taking their stuff. And it seems like it had a lot to do with, because all those people back then, that has been something that they have talked about, is that their fortunes and shit were stolen. Their art, they had like expensive artwork and jewels and money and all sorts of fortunes that were stolen during that time. And then they moved them all over there, and take this land and make it this other land. And then it's really weird how they have a whole fucking force field around them. Like they have this like there's so much weird shit. So much weird shit. It really seems like that this group of people put themselves on a pedestal. And I don't know how far back it goes. Like I said, like I think some of these Rothschilds, Rockefellers, which I'm thinking that they've got to be blue. Got to be. That they, I think they've been around for a long ass time. Like I think those guys are fucking hundreds of years old, if not thousands of years old. Like they're fucking decrepit motherfucking artifacts. So I think, and just like the vampires too, in the vampire movies, think about that too. How they don't feel anything. I really think that is a big thing with these people. That's why they keep taking all these little dark kids and eating them and shit, is because they want to feel they're taking other people's energy and other people's feelings so that they can feel anything, because they're just so empty. They're empty. Like, how can you fucking keep on going for fucking decades and decades and centuries fucking consuming other people? Of course you're not going to feel anything. And so they are, but I think a lot of them are dead now. I'm kind of, I know this sounds really wackadoo, but I kind of feel like that there's a lot of nabbing going on, but I feel like it's kind of a part of the show, and that there's going to be a lot more that are going to be like found, and they've been being held someplace because we need the impact to really get us, because it's so extreme. But we also have like a ton of nabbers here, but there, you think about how many people are arrested, like the people who are buying the product, like a lot of them are gone. So, but the product just keeps going and going faster and faster. And even if you think, well, everybody keeps eating. Yeah, but now they're pushing so hard on the crickets, the grub worms, and the fucking lab-grown meat. Like, everybody keeps showing videos of that, like this lab-grown fucking funk. And, but watch out for those sausages and ground meat. Like, you gotta fucking listen to that Finkelstein. Like, gross. But anyways, all this shit is going down. Like, we're at the end for sure. Yeah, and I don't know, today, like, something's going to go down this week. Something like, and they're going to push even if these people keep dragging their feet and trying to keep us in Groundhog Day and just letting it just slowly go, they're going to be pushed again. And I think it's like they push them to kind of reveal themselves, to show themselves, so they can see. So but it's also so the people can see. Like everybody's got to see the show, go see, like, there's so many people that just don't pay any attention. But those are the ones that are here for this other impactful moment. Because there's going to be a impactful moment, I'll tell you. For all these people who just are ignoring what's right in front of them, they're going to get hit hard. And if you've never been hit hard by something where you're just all of a sudden like, oh my God, then, be prepared, because it's going to be crazy. And I think so many of them, like, they've all had us telling them and stuff. We've all been trying to tell them, we've all been trying to wake them up, and they just, they're stuck. But it's because they're stuck, because they're waiting for this big moment that's going to zap them. And that's going to be like super impactful. But I think there's a lot of people who don't even know what's to come. There's people out there who think they're so awake. They're out there telling everybody, judging everybody, being total dicks, just hateful. And those ones who think they're awake, like, they haven't seen their dark side yet. They don't understand what the awakening is all about. Like it's so much more. But I think I see things because I do come from it from a spiritual perspective. And I see like what's really going on, what other people don't see because they haven't lived in a spiritual perspective. So when you do live from a spiritual perspective, you can see this is an evolution that is happening. And it's a good thing, even though it's hard and it's a challenge. But just stick with your challenges, continue, no matter what, to really try and see what you don't see. Confirmation. My stomach is growling like crazy too. I'm like, I swear, it just fucks with my head. Like, is the stomach growling because the parasites are starving, or am I not eating enough? I don't even fucking know at this point. And then I still go into like, I'm not even real. Like, do I even need to eat if I'm not real? This whole thing is so weird. It's just a weird thing to go through. So just, keep going through it. Keep asking yourself questions. Keep questioning yourself. And even if it sounds weird, even if it sounds wacky, I sound like a nut to people. Don't worry about how you sound. You're going through an evolution, through an experience, and, there's no book on it. And it is all based on your own conscious development. But I can just tell you some of the things that you need to work on is your emotional maturity. That is being mindful, thinking about what is it you're putting out, being more concerned and controlled over what it is that you're putting out, and your reactions to what other things that people come. Like, if people say something to you, like, think about it. You don't have to react to it. Think about, how does it really make you feel? Why does it make you feel that way? And really consider that all of the things that are creating feelings in you are there as gifts. They're there to help you, to release the different pains, the different things you're holding on to. So all the things that feel like challenges are gifts to help you to find yourself. But throughout this journey, that's when you will find emotional maturity, where you are, you have a filter, you have control over your mind, you can, you're not as impulsive, you are more mindful, you don't take things, if you take something wrong that somebody says, don't think, well, you took it wrong. You can take it how you took it so that you could experience it, but don't think that everything has to be negative. Try and see like the positive parts of things, and try and see the benefits in try and look at things that are happening as gifts instead of, challenges. Seeing is like, oh, if I can get through this, I'm going to feel so much better. If I can release this, I'm going to, feel better. And then not reacting to every single little thing like a child, having, not being pulled in, like to every other person's dramas and shit. Like, just let go of other people's shit. There's a whole thing to moving towards your emotional maturity. And I just think it's weird how people go around like, well, I'm emotionally mature. That's emotional maturity and stuff like that. It's like, that's weird, because I think most people are very emotionally immature. Most people are reactive. Most people don't even know what the hell they're doing here. They have no purpose. They're just desperate for connection. They just want somebody to like them. They feel bad about themselves. They feel rejected. They feel bad about themselves. So, yeah, I wouldn't say we've got a lot of emotional maturity out there. We've got a lot of people who are lost and don't know how to find themselves. And, think taking off all your clothes and going out there and seeing who catches, who bites the bait, then that you found your true love. And, that's not mature. That's not emotional maturity. There's more to it. And, these people are just are like, well, they look like my type. Okay, well, that's, I don't know how to get that through your head, how shallow that is. Like, it's not about what somebody looks like. It's about what somebody is on the inside. And anytime that there's somebody out there who wants to date you, it should be more of a courting. It should be more of a like, why do you need fucking fancy dates? Why do you need to go to a goddamn fancy restaurant and shit? Like, all you need to do is be able to go out and sit at the park. Go out and, sit on a beach. Go walk by a river. Go get to know the person. Go see if this person has anything that you're interested in as a person. That's what you want to get to know, is who's on the inside of this person. And, and being somebody who just wanted people, just had people who just wanted me from my outside, I'm telling you, it's not fair to the person. Like, get to know the people on the inside. Get to know who they are at their core. Don't just pick people because you think they look like, that looks like what I want my wife to look like. That's my type right there. Well, that looks like the person I want to have my babies with. Like that, there's more to it. There's more to us. We are beings. We have stuff in the inside of us. The inside of us is what matters. The outside of us doesn't matter. So these people just trying to show the outside of themselves and trying to find somebody else who has a good outside. It's like you're not working on what you should be working on. Work on yourself. Work on you, developing you, taking care of you, figuring you out. The rest will start happening naturally. And, maybe you will have somebody who will come up and want to meet you and talk to you and hang out with you. And you'll start going out with them and you'll be getting to know them. And you may think like, well, this isn't somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with, but I sure, I'm enjoying my time with them. I'm getting to know them and I'm having a good time, and go out and enjoy that. Go out and have fun. You don't have to jump in bed with them. You don't have to do anything. You can go out and get to know this person, but you're getting to know yourself. You're developing you. The people who come into you are there to help you find you. So you go out with the people who come into your orbit and go out and go through the experiences, because the experiences are there to develop you. So the things that are there for you come to you. You don't have to go out and search. You don't have to take your clothes off and go out and try and get billions of people to look at you to try and find one that likes your butt. There's just a lot of things that have to change in the way people look at things in their minds and stuff. You got to get out of you don't want to be stuck in the 3D, then quit living like it. You start going into higher states of consciousness. Start thinking deeper. Start looking at things deeper. Start trying to develop yourself as a deeper person. Try and find your interest to be deeper. Try and, just go into yourself. Go into things in a deeper way. I don't know how to explain it because I'm always been deep. It's just where I go. So, and all the people, they like to stay in the shallow. All I can say to you is that the shallow is not going to develop you. You need to go deeper. And you need to go inside. You need to learn how to trust yourself. You need to learn how to be vulnerable. You need to learn how to respect yourself. There's so much, There's so much to leave an abusive relationship where you've been beat down, spit on, kicked in the teeth, made sick, and then to try and turn around and you know, and think in 6 months, well, now I'm fucking perfect. I can, no, this is completely like you just left the most abusive relationship. What are you going to do? Not jump right into another one. You got to start developing yourself, taking care of yourself, figuring yourself out. It's like reformulating, reprogramming yourself. So that to me is like the big thing right now. I mean, I know things are going to start shifting like real quick. There's going to be big shifts where there's going to start being relationships that are going to start popping up, like, but they're going to be different. They're going to be real relationships based on, you know, the inside, not the outside. And so there's going to be a lot of that that's going to start happening, and that's going to start moving people and understanding and stuff. But that's a part of the part that's got to flip. Right now we're in this purge of bringing everything up, getting it out there. And so many people don't even know what they're bringing up. They don't know that they're going to be looking at that here in a minute, real strong, and seeing this side of themselves. So just be mindful of what the energy you're putting out and how you're looking at things. And just keep in mind, this world is much deeper. It's much different than what you've been taught, what you've been trained. There's a spiritual aspect to this world that is real. That's real. And that's deep. And that is everything. And anything that you've been living that isn't about that, you've been living a fake ass life. And it's going to hurt when you realize. So just start developing yourself into being a more person of substance, you know, and figuring out what you are. I mean, out of a world full of artificial stimuli and superficial people, you know, there's not a lot of substance to you, and don't feel bad about that. It wasn't necessary. It was kind of a pain in their ass. They didn't want you to have anything but a couple of labels to define yourself. But you're way more than that. You've got skills, you've got purpose, there's way more to you. But you have to, you know, fall in love with yourself. You have to figure yourself out. And that's where you need to start, not trying to desperately get some other guy to come in and, you know, fall in love with yourself. This is the time. Like, fucking, I've been doing this since 2016. But, I mean, literally it started in 2011 when I got, oh, wait, no, that was 2009 when I got my brain injury. So I got my brain injury in 2009. So I had to start healing parts of myself all that ways back. So, you know, but for people who are just waking up just now, don't be thinking like you're going to be all fixed in 6 months. Like, it's a journey to yourself. It's a development, and you got to go through all the things that you have held yourself back from, held yourself back with, all the doubt, all the feelings of not being good enough. You know, you've got to break through all those. You got to work towards developing so that you get to the feeling of like, fuck, I'm badass. Look, I'm an angel. I'm a fucking eternal. I'm a creator. And you got to get there to where you are just, look, I'm a badass. And not feel like a weak ass, like, oh my God, everything's going to hurt me. Oh, somebody misgendered me. Oh, somebody doesn't like me. Oh, somebody said I was stupid. Oh, somebody said I was too tall. Somebody said, you know, fuck it. Who fucking cares? That's their opinion. That's their, you know, and don't worry about stupid ass shit. So, anyways, I feel like I'm really on a rant today, but god damn, it's like, fuck, I cannot believe how many of these girls just go out there and do that. But there's cool ass shit going on in the sky, and don't believe everything you fucking see on the footage. Like, look at more stuff. Like, if you have a million goddamn videos of jillions of people on the street, there should somewhere be some people on the street sharing their videos. Like, maybe TikTok or Twitter was full of them. Maybe there was millions and millions of them, and I didn't see them because I'm not on TikTok. But they're or on Twitter, but definitely on TikTok there was not. There wasn't any. I looked. The only one I had seen was that one in Irvine, and that was like later, even in the day. All the rest of them were all these compilation giant ass drone shots of like mega million people out in the fucking streets everywhere. Everywhere, the flag of the Paki flag everywhere. And I don't know, but I would say be expecting shit to go down this week. Just be prepared for anything to go. And once they do their thing back, like say they take down some towers or something, that's when shit's gonna get wild. As soon as their shit, as soon as they do whatever they're gonna do, is gonna be very scary. And then, but then everything's gonna turn the other direction. It's like, I don't know if it's like their last shebang to get them to really reveal themselves, like, because it's really sinking into people. People are really understanding the government's not there for us. They, as a matter of fact, hate us. They're out to murder us, and they work for these rich-ass people who hoard all the money, who hoard all the resources, who want us to have nothing, and who enjoy watching us eat our own because it gets them off, because they feel nothing. So, you know, it's a weird-ass world to wake up to. So just work on you through all this stuff, and just be prepared. Like, if it doesn't happen this week, and it doesn't happen this weekend, then it's going to happen the next week. Like, it's going to happen. Every day that it doesn't happen doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Oh, well, nothing's going to happen. No, it's coming. It's coming. It's been coming the whole motherfucking time. So just, no matter what, and just keep in mind, you know, you're preparing for this. So when it does come, even though there's so much buildup of like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, what's going to happen? How scary is it going to be? That once we get through it, then it's going to be like, oh, finally, book. And then just write it out, whatever goes on. If you lose power, if you lose internet, if whatever it is, you know, just write it out. If it's fucking a horrific storm, if we started having comets coming down on us, whatever it is, just write it out, stay safe, and just keep telling yourself the whole time, this is temporary. This is going to be over in a minute, and the sun's going to come out. Everything is going to change. Even though that once it goes, that it's going to go really, really horrible for a while. But just remember, that's going to be for certain people's lives, not for all of us. Some of us have already processed this. So the people who are processing it's going to go really horrible for them. But those of us who've already processed it, we're going to be moving into another stage of this whole endeavor that's happening. So we don't get to see, but from what, you know, all the tarot readers and shit are saying, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for us. And, but there's going to be so much reaction when people see that there's going to be, you know, a lot of toxic shit's going to come up, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of, you know, frustration is all going to be coming up. It doesn't mean it's going to be affecting you, but that still would be like if you're, you know, if you live in Tennessee and everybody's freaking out and out there in the streets, and you think, well, you know, I'm fine. I'm just gonna go out. Well, I wouldn't go out in the middle of the chaos where everybody's mad and angry and, you know, smacking each other and yelling at each other and burning places up and shit. Like, it's gonna be wild. And so supposedly all 2024 is gonna be a lot of, but it's the process. It's the going through the different levels of anger and loss. It's like the process of when somebody dies. It's going to be like the same process. Everybody's got to go through that process. So through 2024, and then plus you got all these people that got to go through their ego death, their shadow self, you know, to understand themselves. So you got all that going on. You got all this stuff changing, government going down, medical going down, doctors going down, people being arrested. It's going to be absolute chaos. And that is where you're going to have to, you know, keep yourself feeling good. It's going to be very chaotic. But then supposedly in 2025, things are going to settle down. So, look, if it's only one more year of, but it still is going to be a lot better for so many people. It's not going to be like how it is right now, where we're just all like in fucking Groundhog Day waiting for this shit to play out. It's going to be, it's going to switch, and it's going to put like us on the front of the line. So we're going to start going more towards our path, more of what we're doing here. You know, because if you've been doing your healing and working on yourself throughout all of these challenges, then you're ready for the next part, you're ready for the next step. So there'll be a step up, there'll be a change. So we'll see how it goes, because, you know, everybody should be getting their abundance and stuff. There's going to be something different. It's going to be, you know, and the abundance is going to help so many people. But then there will also be, you know, people will see, like, all of a sudden when they have money, it's going to bring up more issues. It's going to bring up more pain, more things. But that's why, you know, there's going to be like a lot of stuff going on with a lot of people. Don't just think like, oh, well, you know, now I got a fat bank account, now I'm happy. Go talk to some people with a fat bank account and see if they're all happy. There's still challenges. You still have got challenges, and everything that's going to happen is going to bring them up. And don't feel bad, or don't feel stupid, or don't feel like, you know, just go with your flow. You know, if you feel guilt, you know, you got all this money now, you feel guilty. Like, you know, go in, try and understand, why do I feel guilty? Why do I feel like I don't deserve this? I think whatever it's going to be, everybody's going to have a process to go through. So anyways, just keep on, you know, every day. Just don't feel like bad or wrong. Just every day. It's like, okay, well, what's today? What am I working on today? I'm going to get better. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to feel healthy and happy. And I'm going to do that for myself. I'm going to figure out how to make that happen, and then do it. So anyways, I swear to God, I don't know if I'm saying anything that makes sense. I feel like the same thing is this absolute chaotic energy happening. It's like all these people just yelling at you, repent, repent. Oh, Jesus saves lives. Like, all I can say is that just keep working on you and see through the illusion, see through the bullshit. Don't get as caught up in all of this nonsense as what they want to have you caught up in it. They want to keep you just beat down and sad and depressed and small and desperate and taking all your clothes off, trying to get some pervo corn guy to want to shake your booty with you or something. I don't know. It's such a fucking whacked out world. So anyways, respect yourself, respect others, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.